Hey everyone, Travis from Clark Toys here with Marty from Clark Toys.
Hello.
And
Travis, I know you're excited about this, right?
I am excited. This is a cool new product, kind of combining both figurines and bobbleheads, or at least what we've seen so far is people buying these. Some people are definitely bobblehead collectors, buying them with bobbleheads. Some are definitely figurine collectors, buying them with figurines. And what they are, they're 4-inch. They actually do bobble, so they're 4-inch bobbleheads. So they have the larger heads, great facial likenesses, but they're in this, the best part probably is kind of this cool blister card packaging, which is kind of retro.
Like the retro background. I like that. Like we've discussed, I would take my figure out just because of the face is so good, but you can leave it in the packaging as well, and it looks just as great.
It's great, great collectible in the package because of the vibrant player images. They're kind of all closer, smiling, animated. With the team colors, it's kind of like a 77 Star Wars blister carded design where they had the movie shot of the character and then the little figurine that was like a 3.75-inch figurine. These are 4-inch bobbleheads, but that kind of retro G.I. Joe's 77 Star Wars blister card back packaging. So that's cool. Or like technically in the past was the Corinthian headliners, which were actually in a blister card as well. It didn't have player images on it, had kind of a baseball field or green packaging, but those were actually a little bit shorter. They were about 3.25 inches, and these, you can see the size comparison. So a lot of people said that when we first showed photos of this, like, oh, it's like reminds me of a headliner, or even some people said, oh, they're back, and it definitely is in that realm of the styling of the packaging. It's on the left side of the package, and you could just see the size difference. And then of course, you know, the heads do bobble, but great facial likenesses, and so that's where kind of the feel for the product comes in. And you definitely get, if you're a figurine collector and just have avoided bobbleheads, it still can be for you. And if you're a bobblehead collector, you know, the head bobbles, it's 4 inches tall, looks great out of the package, but again, as you mentioned, they look really cool in the package as well, and a great lineup. Yes,
this set itself has a lot of different stats and MVPs. Although
superstars, and it's numbered 1 through 10. It's not necessarily tied to a year. It's a checklist on the back, and so they're numbered 1 through 10. Judge is number 1, but they're not necessarily, doesn't say 2018 or anything. So hopefully the set will continue with new players. Will be 11, 12, 13. But if you want to get the first 10 in this superstar lineup, you can start with number 1, which is Aaron Judge,
number 1. Of course, the Rookie of the Year for 2017, and the most home runs by Yankee rookies for the Yankee record.
Since Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth had 32, and Aaron Judge has 33.
But he kept going.
For the season. Was just for the Yankee record.
Yeah,
for the MLB overall record, it was about 59?
52 passing Mark McGwire. 59 was the home run in that same year. So Stanton is number 6 in the set. Stanton is, so there's 2 Yankees, and Stanton in that year he was still at the Miami Marlins. He had 59 home runs, and then went to the Yankees and had
38 home runs.
So a good year. Judge and Stanton have been injured a little bit.
In his first season with the Yankees, he had 38 home runs
and 100 RBIs. And so you get the two Yankees, but you had, and last year's Rookie of the Year, as you mentioned, and also number 10 in this set is this year's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Acuna is the Rookie of the Year for 2018, and he also was the youngest in the NBA history to hit a postseason grand slam.
MLB, NBA.
I said?
You said NBA. MLB, the youngest player ever to hit a grand slam in the postseason, and the cool thing about his is that image is actually of that. Him celebrating here is from that grand slam
really cool.
In the postseason, where he was, as Marty mentioned, the youngest player ever to hit a grand slam in the postseason. So he signs a $100 million extension.
The youngest to at least sign $100 million. 8 years, but he was the youngest to do that.
But he's number 10 in the set. If we go to number 8 is Mike Trout. He also signed the big deal in this offseason.
A 12-year, $432
record deal.
million.
Huge extension for
contract.
Trout. And that's a cool detail you can see on Trout, as well as as Stanton, who we talked about, and Yelich, who we'll talk some more about. They have the chin guards from the helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's especially with the big heads. It's just a cool detail that you get the chin guards with the pad is even painted in there. So it's a cool look to those that have the chin guard like Trout. So you got the guys with the big extensions, and but you mentioned some MVPs. There's the reigning MVP.
Yeah, the Christian Yelich was the national MVP for 2018. And then we have Mookie Betts, who was the American MVP for 2018 and the World Series champion.
Right, so both set of 10, you got both reigning MVPs, as well as in 2017, Altuve was basically the same thing as like Betts in 2018. He was the regular season MVP, but then also not the World Series MVP, but won the World Series, a World Series champion the year before, and he's off to a really, really hot start. I think he's got like 8 home runs, and they won like 10 games in a row at one point. But we probably, of these 10 players, have the 2 hottest players in baseball, with Yelich, the reigning MVP, and also Bellinger. Their stats this year, their start in the first 24 games are crazy. What do we got for
Yelich, he has 13 home runs. He's batting at .337 and 31 RBIs.
In just 24 games. And then and Bellinger?
He has 11 home runs. He's batting at .424 with 28 RBIs.
So a crazy start.
They running hot.
You got 2 of the hottest players, if not 3, with Yelich, and reigning MVPs in Betts and Yelich as well, and past 2 World Series superstars from the World Series champions. The big free agent move of Stanton joining Judge, so huge names there in New York. Then we got number 7. The number 7 of the set is Francisco Lindor, and his is pretty cool. He's got a big smile going, and they call him Mr. Smiles,
Smiley.
I guess. Mr. Smiles.
Mr. Smiles.
So his a cool look. He's really the only one. Most of them are more serious, but you get Baez is celebrating a little bit with sunglasses, and he's got the chin guard too, like we talked about. And he has a real cool photo with his kissing the bat with his sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
So his looks pretty cool, and but Mr. Smiles is.
They had
Francisco
to let him stand
Lindor,
out.
and it turned out great. His smile.
The details on these are just magnificent. It actually, like you said, it was picture perfect. It's like they took great photos and went straight in with it.
Fun photography on the retro blister card packaging, and we talked a little bit about the Corinthian headliners that were from the past, and just wanted to show kind of a size comparison with the Pop, which is also popular.
Yeah,
so
really
the
popular.
MLB Pop is actually a little bit more than 4 inches, like 4.25 inches. You get a solid 4 inches on this bobblehead set, and the Corinthian headliners that a lot of people said these remind them of, and definitely has with the blister card packaging. Those were about 3.25 inches, but Mattel also went in that big head kind of when they got the NBA license back in the late 90s. They had some pretty cool likenesses on some of the NBA stars, but you can see the size comparison there. So still even bigger than that. These were a little bit bigger than the headliners. They called them NBA Jams, and then you have the new Betts. You can see is
that actually bobble.
The size different with it's a
with the actual bobble.
So a really fun set. Hopefully it continues. With number 11, 12. But these are the first 10. Might be the only chance in this set with this packaging to get these players, and then hopefully it continues. And they're $10 a piece, $9.99. You get all 10 of them in one checkout for $100. We have them sold as a set, all in stock
on
now
ClarkToys.com
on ClarkToys.
right now.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.